Hey everybody, and welcome to Don't Copy That Floppy. I'm your host Lex.
I'm your other host Dan.
And we are starting an hour early this Friday.
We sure are.
Because I had plans.
Way to muck it all up.
And I'm not going to plan my social life around this show. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it.
So yes, we are your Wickly.
You're wickedly.
I can't even say that. We are your weekly video game news podcast here on Chipbit Radio, broadcasting off chipbit.net. Normally we broadcast live 7 to 8 p.m. on Fridays. Like Lex said over here, an hour early this week. Good to see you. Clean up that bedhead. Clean up that 6 p.m. bedhead. Brush your teeth. Get ready. Some video game news. You can find us on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Steam, we're on iTunes, and we're on YouTube. You can find us at Don't Copy That Floppy, all those places except Twitter, where we are at DCTF Podcast. We got a show archive on iTunes and on chipbit.net. So if you're interested, you can go check out old episodes. What do we got to talk about today?
We got stuff about the new Battlefront beta.
Star Wars. All the Star Wars you can handle. First-hand accounts. It's good.
We got stuff about the voice actor strike. We got stuff about Destiny. We got stuff about anticipated games of this holiday season.
Yes, and then some random other junk. Just kind of thrown in there. Game announcements, game releases, game cancellations.
It is
one
not,
of those in there.
Not a particularly heavy news week. But
No.
we're doing the best with what we got.
We'll try and make it as exciting as possible. We'll do our best. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Star Wars Battlefront. Are you excited yet? Should be. So the Star Wars Battlefront quote-unquote beta opened yesterday, October 8th. Is remaining open until the 12th of October. It's a very short little open thing. Now, this is an open beta, so anybody who wants to, on PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4, can grab this, download it. It's an 8GB download on PS4 or Xbox One, and 11GB on PC. This is pretty hefty, but that's because you're pretty much just downloading the majority of the game's assets. So, this beta... I think it's funny that they're calling it that because I guess all game developers now just say if it's before the game's actual release, they just call it a beta, regardless of what stage of completion the game's actually in. Because this isn't a beta. This is a demo of the game. Like, this is not a beta. This is way too together to be a beta. So, it's out. I have played it. It seems, like I said, it's not really beta, it's more of a demo. You can try out some of the game modes. They're really doing this, I'm pretty sure, as are many other people in these articles we've pulled up. We've got one from Forbes, we've got one from Crave, we've got one from Destructoid, we got one from GameSpot. All of them pretty much say the same thing. This seems to be more of a server stress test, because Battlefield 4 had oodles of server problems on launch, which killed interest in the game. So you can bet that EA and DICE don't want that to happen again. So they basically did this open beta as a thinly veiled way to both advertise the game and drum up hype and test out their server loads with as many people as possible. Because if you make a cool game that people are anticipating free, a lot of people are going to just jump on and play it all at once.
And we know from the GameSpot article that they will be increasing the servers even during the beta.
Yeah.
For the last couple days.
Is it on the PC only that they're expanding the servers?
That could be true.
The title of the article says PC beta servers. So I think it's just PC right now. But, guess we'll see. The beta, speaking as someone who was really skeptical about this game, I like it a lot. And I never thought I'd say that. I figured I'd be really lukewarm about it, no pun intended. But I enjoyed it quite a bit for the few hours I played it yesterday. I tried out survival mode, I tried out the escape pod capture mode, and I tried out the big 20 on 20 Hoth Walker Assault mode. All of them were a ton of fun. Different enough to keep things interesting. I'm glad they're having different amounts of players for different modes and things, so it helps it not feel quite as samey. And in the Walker Assault, it's just utter chaos, because there's no way you're going to coordinate that many people together in an online shooting game. Whereas the smaller modes, you could definitely get a group together that would be more teamwork-oriented, and it's smaller maps versus bigger maps. But yeah, the core gameplay feels a lot like the old PS2 and Xbox Battlefront games. It has that kind of arcade shooter style to it, but with much better graphics and sound design. The retool of how vehicles work, they made them into power-ups rather than just having them sitting on the map, waiting for someone to get in them. It works fine. It's essentially the same. So I have no problem with it. The controls of all the vehicles function a lot better. They're a lot of fun to use, especially the ATST. The way your character abilities work is really cool now, because instead of picking a class that just has certain weapons and equipment, you can customize your loadout with all sorts of options. There's power-ups to find in the field of just like, you got a big bomb, you got a turret you can put down wherever you want, you got binoculars so you can call in an airstrike. And they're all really fun to use, and they give like this extra little like one-time use thing to you. That can really help turn the tide if you use it in the right place. I saw a lot of people complaining that the Walker Assault mode was super biased towards the Empire side, because the Empire gets AT-ATs, ATSTs, TIE Fighters, and Darth Vader, I guess. They get a lot more stuff. You have a lot more like vehicles available to you than the Rebels. Whereas the Rebels just get their air units, which are X-Wings, then A-Wings, then Snowspeeders, and the turrets that are set up all over the place on Hoth. And the Empire can use those turrets, actually, which I think is part of the problem people have. But I didn't think it was as one-sided from what I saw. I managed to win a couple times on the Rebel side, and it's really satisfying to see those AT-ATs go down.
Nice.
It's like your old Jade was really good. So, I could see, though, if maybe your Rebellion team is not the greatest, it would feel very punishing and not fair. But yeah, I'm more excited about this than I ever was. It looks like there's going to be split-screen multiplayer for more than just the survival mode, too. So once this game comes out, once I get full confirmation that there's split-screen in, like, the free battle mode, I'm buying it. But I need that confirmation. And it feels... It's just modernized enough, and I actually found myself enjoying the online multiplayer, which I didn't think I would really, because usually I don't like those kind of games. But it doesn't feel as... It's something about Call of Duty and Battlefield, maybe it's just that I'm bad at them, has always felt like the level of skill required to get into it and have fun was just out of my reach enough that I never wanted to bother. Whereas this feels, I guess in some ways less balanced, but in some ways more balanced, because everybody kind of has the same goofy, weird loadouts going on. So it's just crazy and fun. So even if you're not necessarily winning, you're getting something out of it, because you still get points and things. And it's goofy enough. The Star Wars side of it makes it goofy enough that I don't care about losing. I just want to run around as a stormtrooper, even if it's just me getting shot. And it's just like in the movies. It's fine.
Even if it's just me missing everything, then it's just like the movie.
It's just like the movie. It's totally fine. It's a blast. And there's so many just good moments that happen, like when you're running across Hoth, shooting at rebels, and then an ATST like literally walks over you, and you like go between its legs, and you get this really like amazing the sound effects of like the footsteps right next to your face. It's so many good little moments like that just make you feel like you're like in it. Or like when a TIE fighter swoops down low and does like a strafing run on the like trench you're hiding in. It's really, really cool. And gives the good Star Wars feeling that I don't think I've gotten out of any game in recent memory. So if you like Star Wars, and you like arcadey shooters, I do not think you'll be disappointed.
Very cool. The one of the things that I think is nice about this is it's sort of proving like, hey, you know what's not going to be broken on launch?
Yeah.
This game.
Yeah, there were a couple little lag hiccups, but nothing major at all when I was playing. And I don't have, like, the best internet connection for these games either. Mine's usually fine, but I noticed negligible problems with it. There was something else here.
Was it about the heroes? The playable heroes?
There's something about the playable heroes. There's a thing about playable heroes. Someone data mined the files on PC and found files for Princess Leia, Han Solo, and the Emperor, which is cool. Love playing as the Emperor. There was another article I totally had up here somewhere, and I cannot find it. Oh, no. Is that it? No, nope. That's the Destiny one.
That's Destiny.
There was something up here that said that EA was planning on avoiding microtransactions for Star Wars Battlefront. Which I find shocking. So I will see if I can pull that article up again.
They want those microtransactions. They want them real bad.
They do. So we'll see. Lex, why don't you take us into another story while I look for that?
Alright.
Let's take us something outside of Star Wars.
Update on last week, we talked about the video game voice actors considering a strike. For those who need a refresher, pretty much the video game voice actors union are operating under contracts that were made like 20 years ago. And they really don't give these performers very much. Not even close to the amount of stuff that a regular actor, or even a voice actor for a major motion picture, like an animated thing, would get. So they came up with new contract stuff with 4 key points. Stuff like getting royalties and having better scheduling options and like stunt coordinators and stuff if they were doing that kind of thing.
Capture stuff that they do now.
And they put those forward. They've been in negotiations with studios for quite a while about that, and they hadn't been making any headway, so they basically put it to a vote with all the people in the union and said, hey, would you guys do a strike if it came to that? Because it looks like it might come to that. And the results are in on the vote, and they only needed a 75% yes vote to be able to go forward with a strike, but they got 96.5%. So pretty much everyone in the union was like, yeah, we'd be cool with striking, because these are totally reasonable things to ask for. So now the ball is in the studio's court, so to speak, so they can either realize that the voice actors union are not bluffing and will totally strike and then meet their demands, or not, and then we're gonna have a strike and we'll
enter the golden age of bad video game voice acting.
Oh my god, it's gonna be terrible.
It's gonna be like Resident Evil 1 everywhere.
Oh no.
Here, Jill, take this weapon. It's particularly effective against living things. Oh, thanks, Barry. I'll take this then. Amazing.
There was something I was reading. I don't know if it's in this article that I have up from Variety. I
have a Polygon article pulled up from the 7th.
Yeah, the 7th is pretty much when they announced like the results are in. But there's 2 big names in the video game industry that have not weighed in on this yet.
Really?
Nolan North.
And was it Troy Baker?
And Troy Baker, I think.
The Troy boy?
It's those 2 have not. They haven't said they're for or against it. They just haven't said anything about it.
And they're big right now.
Yeah.
Nolan North is in literally every video game.
It's true. But you have just about every other big name voice actor in the industry.
They're finally coming together in Uncharted 4.
Finally.
When Nathan Drake, played by Nolan North, meets his estranged brother, played by Troy Baker. You couldn't write a funnier plotline with those voice actors' credits.
Then it suddenly becomes a buddy cop movie.
Oh, I hope so.
So I'm kind of curious as to why they haven't said anything yet.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, like, every other major voice actor has said, like, we're totally for this.
Well, they're a part of so many projects right now that I'm wondering if they don't want to be kicked out of those projects for doing this, or they don't want to lose out on them. Mm-hmm. Because they're both being literally cast as every video game character right now. So I feel like if they were to go on this strike, they'd be dropping multiple projects that are all probably pretty big projects and big paydays for them, too. Which is my guess as to why they're at this point just keeping their mouths shut.
Well, I think that, I don't know for sure, but I think the way it works is, assuming they're part of this union, and they probably are because there's only like one union for video game voice actors. If the union strikes, if you're part of the union, you have to strike. That's why they put it to a vote and everything.
Right.
So that would mean that they would have to, like, if they wanted to continue working and not be part of this, they'd have to leave the union.
Right.
Which some people would frown upon, I think.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, so we're gonna keep covering that as it develops, because I'm very curious as to
this is a pretty big deal.
Out. Yeah,
it's kind of a big deal. Is it bad that I really hope we get just, like, a year of awful video game voice acting? Part of me just really wants that.
I think that if it ends in their demands being met, then sure, that'd be fine.
Yeah, why not?
Everyone wins that.
Everybody wins. We get hilarious YouTube videos forever, and they get better, compensation for their good work.
Maybe Peter Dinklage will return to Destiny.
Yeah! So I found that article from GameSpot on the 5th, so before the beta went up, titled "No Microtransactions in Star Wars Battlefront, Says DICE Developer." So they did an interview with the Battlefront design director, Nicholas Fagreus, who made it clear that the game is not built around microtransactions. He said they are not part of the core design of how Battlefront works. So, basically he says, the GameSpot person asks him, I'm not sure whether there are microtransactions at Battlefront, could you explain? And a lot of people have been wondering this, and assuming that there would be a bunch, because it's EA.
Yeah.
Fagreus responded that the currency system is based on your game performance. Credits that you use to buy things in the game are earned, you play the game, you complete the challenges, that's how you get credits. And then the follow-up question, is that the only way you obtain credits, by earning them through performance? Fagreus responds, yes, that is what's in the game, absolutely.
So pretty definitive.
Pretty definitive answer right there. Like, if they go back on this, he looks like a jackass.
Oh, totally.
And playing the beta, every time you do stuff, points come up on screen, and at the end of your match, and you get, like, those points tallied up with bonuses for, like, if you got a lot of headshots, or your team won, or you particularly got a lot of objectives. And then those points are converted into credits, which you use to buy different power-up cards and weapons and customization, like, options for, like, clothing and apparently races also. Like, so you unlock the ability to play as, like, Rhodians and other weird aliens and stuff. Yeah. So that's cool. And you have to be a certain rank to buy certain upgrades too, and you rank up just by doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hit like rank 5, which is the highest you can get in the beta. I'm wondering if they'll let you carry it over. Well, yeah, that'd be neat. But yeah, so the interviewer then asked, the reason they ask is because it has a 2-step currency system with points then credits, which is usually a telltale sign of paving the way for microtransactions. And the response was, that's not part of the core design of how this works. This is a progression system based on gameplay. If you're really competitive, the coolest things you get are the star cards that best suit your playstyle. If you like to snipe, you go for the blaster cannon. If you look for something cool in terms of expressing yourself, get a lot of credits, buy expensive items like being able to play as an alien race. You can be a Rhodian while everyone else is a human. So they're really pushing the just customize your character the way you want by playing the game. You don't buy a race, you don't buy costume options, you don't buy the weapons to get, like, a head start on other people. Which is great! That's wonderful news.
It is good news.
Play the video game! Amazing! And I guess there's in-game achievements that will unlock points for you, too. like completing survival modes and things like that on like various difficulties. Cool.
But they're not. But while they're saying that there won't be any microtransactions, a certain other popular space shooter is saying there will be microtransactions.
There will always be microtransactions.
So, Bungie, creators of Destiny, the most poorly plotted game ever,
the often ridiculed blockbuster title,
announced on October 5th that they will be having microtransactions in Destiny, and they're
going to start selling emotes, like dancing.
Yeah.
Emotes that you yourself can't even see because the game is in first person.
Exactly.
What an idea.
No,
I can't wait to dance in first person. Won't that be great?
The camera just shakes around a little bit. But yeah, it's supposed to just be cosmetic changes for microtransactions, so they say.
For now. I'll say that for the EA and Star Wars thing too, frankly. For now.
Yeah, a year after release, we could be looking at a very different picture.
Yeah.
For Battlefront. But,
definitely.
But yeah, for this, I'm looking at an article from Forbes from the 6th.
Yep.
Talking about how great an idea microtransactions are, because I guess the person who wrote this article is heartless. No, the way he talks about it, and it totally makes sense, is he's like, okay, this is an MMO, so they need a constant influx of money because they are constantly creating content. Now, the way that Bungie has been doing this is they've released 2 smaller expansions and then 1 bigger one each year. And all of those cost a pretty decent chunk of money, so that each year they're assuming if these players are buying all those expansions, the players are spending between $80 and $100 a year. Which, wow, that's a lot of money. Although not necessarily more money than you're spending on WoW each year.
Or if you play a lot more Destiny than other games, what you would be spending buying other games.
Yeah. So this guy is saying, like, okay, so they're still going to offer that, but now they're going to have microtransactions, which means if a player says, like, I'm going to buy one of these expansions, and I'm not going to buy another one, but I'll buy a couple of microtransactions worth of stuff, that's a good way for Bungie to offset its costs, and then they have a more steady income stream from the game.
Yes.
So on the one hand, I'm like, okay, that makes sense, but again, it just seems so douchey. Like, so douchey.
You know what else is douchey? The last time I started up my PS4 to download the Battlefront beta, I got a big advertisement for Destiny the Taken King as the first thing on my taskbar on the main PS4 menu with a big buy button right underneath it. How about that? And I found this article on Polygon from the 6th talking about that and telling you how to disable these things.
Oh.
Because this is a new featured content update, which is basically an excuse to shove ads for games and a big buy button down your throat.
See, at least when Steam does that, they're specifically shoving ads for games that are heavily discounted. They're like, you started up Steam, here's a 75% off game.
I started up my PS4 and was immediately bombarded with, buy the Taken King, though. No.
Are you connected to the internet? That means you get ads.
Ha ha ha! This was like a very in-your-face ad, though. I saw a lot of people complaining about it. So there's that, too. In addition to all these microtransactions. I bet that's not the first time. And Sony says, like, oh, the PS4 system has the ability to learn about your preferences. It'll learn your likes and dislikes, allowing you to discover content preloaded and ready to go on your console in your favorite game genres or by your favorite creators. Yeah. That's why my PS4 totally recommended Destiny the Taken King to me by chance. Because of my game preferences.
Yeah, that...
Right? Great response, Sony.
For those who don't know, Dan would never play Destiny, nor any games really akin to Destiny.
I will pull my own fingernails out before I play Destiny. Get that crap out of here.
So yeah, that's why it's pretty obvious that whole it'll tailor the ads to you is total BS.
Yeah,
it's whoever's paying Sony to put those ads up there,
which is probably Bungie.
Yeah, those ads are going to be up there.
So Destiny will be heavily advertised everywhere forever, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Unless it goes under.
Buy new Destiny pants. Remember Peter Dinklage with these Peter Dinklage designed pants.
R.I.P. Peter Dinklage.
R.I.P. Peter Dinklage. Rest in peace, Dinkwat. Now Nolan Northbot is our new master. I wonder how his voice acting compares.
I'm sure it'll be much better.
I hope he just sounds exactly like Nathan Drake.
I hope he sounds exactly like Peter Dinklage. I hope it's just him doing a Peter Dinklage impression.
Yeah, Nolan North's Peter Dinklage impression. Amazing.
Oh, so good.
I want Nolan North to do a Troy Baker impression.
Troy Baker to do a Nolan North impression.
Troy Baker to do a Nolan North impression for their next
same
roles.
Game together.
Yeah.
We could get if we got a scene during Uncharted where the two brothers
are making fun of each other.
Yeah.
Oh, that has to happen.
That is so good.
Some meta comedy for us.
So meta. But no, so I mean, another reason why I'm sure that Bungie is doing this transaction stuff, and specifically why they're saying, like, oh, it's going to be cosmetic stuff, is because they've seen the sales numbers, as we have talked about in past episodes, for things like Team Fortress 2, otherwise known as Hat Simulator.
Oh, yeah. People buy all those hats.
It rakes in so much money.
Those hats do have gameplay effects, though.
Oh, do they?
Yes, many of them do.
I thought they were purely cosmetic.
Ooh.
Well.
That's why people get a lot of money for some of those hats. You get a rare hat? Ooh, baby. Ooh. Yeah, I don't think all of the ones in Team Fortress have gameplay effects, but I know that some of them do. But I'm not very familiar with the game. But yeah, same idea though. And like they said, it is an MMO. It's just a weird first-person shooter MMO.
Yeah.
Oh well. Stay gold, Destiny. Never forget you. As much as I want to.
As much as I'd like.
This just in. Bethesda has concerns about the Battlecry game that they are producing.
That was the game.
Do you remember? I'm gonna ask you. Like, do you remember this game?
I vaguely remember this from E3.
I remember this game vividly from E3.
I remember it looking like garbage.
Yep, that's why I remember it.
Yeah.
Because they talked all big about it and then showed gameplay, and it looked awful.
But it was, it wasn't a MOBA, it was like...
It's like an arena combat thing.
Yeah.
It's like Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, it's like Hat Simulator.
Yeah, it's like pretty much. Shockingly, yesterday, October 8th, in this Destructoid article, Bethesda themselves say that they have concerns about the Battlecry game. I also have concerns, so I'm really glad that Bethesda has noticed that this game looks terrible.
So this seems kind of like Bethesda's like, oh, did we say we were coming out with this game? Wait a minute, we're going to bring this back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And it's probably not coming out anytime soon. That was actually something that we called when we talked about E3.
It looked so janky and unfinished.
Yeah, we were like, okay, they must just be putting this in to pad their press conference.
Yeah. With this news, since it seems like... They say we are evaluating what improvements the game needs to meet our quality standards. The studio remains busy during this process on multiple projects. That to me sounds like a weird way of maybe saying that this game might not ever come out.
Maybe.
Because if the studio, they're so busy with a bunch of stuff that I guarantee you is going to be way more lucrative for them than this game. Because I don't think anybody's excited about this game.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. So I would not be surprised at all if we never see this game after this.
Now at least... I mean, I'd be totally okay with never seeing this game again.
Yeah, it looks dumb.
But at least we know that with the other thing they used to pad their conference, which was Hearthstone by Bethesda.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was called. I just remember it was Hearthstone.
I don't remember what it was called either.
No one
it's
cares.
It's probably called, like, Elder Scrolls Heroes or something stupid.
Yeah, because even though it was an Elder Scrolls game set with that mythos, the art looked like
Elder Scrolls Heroes Legend Chronicles.
But anyway, so that at least I think probably will come out, though will get massively delayed, just because that has a potential to give them a decent revenue stream with very little sort of dev time.
Right. Want to talk about the Oculus Rift?
I always want to talk about the Oculus Rift.
And how.
And how.
Oculus Rift consumers... Oculus Rift consumers will find themselves potentially paying more than the $350 developers spent on their dev kits once this thing finally comes out. An interview with RoadToVR.com, Mr. Palmer Luckey of Oculus VR said that the unit is roughly in that ballpark, but it's going to cost more than that. Because apparently the consumer unit will have more technology and features behind it than the first and second developer kits did. He goes on to say, it's just the reality that when you make this thing, you have to decide what trade-offs you're going to make. Are you going to optimize for the absolute lowest price possible, even if it's going to be a lower quality experience? And his answer to that is no. No, you make a really high quality VR headset and sell it to people for what it's worth. So we talked about, I think, as I recall, that we thought that price was a lot for what you're getting.
Well, I think that, actually, I remember my view being that the price was reasonable for sort of the emerging technology.
Yeah. I suppose my opinion more comes from that I'm not particularly interested in it. So from my point of view, it's not worth that much money.
And the fact that it is really a peripheral.
Yeah.
Like, you have to hook it to a console or a computer. You can't just play the Oculus.
Right. And it costs you as much as a console.
Yeah.
Like a current-gen console. And that's rough.
So, the fact that they are now bringing the price even higher is certainly disappointing.
Yeah.
But...
if you got a Samsung smartphone, you can get the Gear VR for $99.
Then you can put your phone in front of your face.
Yep. And it's probably nowhere near as good.
Not even close. But no, a lot of this stuff is still like, okay, Oculus Rift just freaking come out.
Yeah, and Valve's VR hasn't been priced yet.
That's true.
And it comes with controllers.
Yeah. But yeah, just come out, have some games out for you so we can figure out if you're actually worth buying.
Yeah.
And then I'll adjust my opinion on your price point.
Look at this guy's businessman hands in this picture.
Synergy.
This is an article from Polygon on the 3rd, by the way.
This Oculus Rift is going to be a next-gen experience.
For all you prosumers out there, you might have to pay a little more than we thought. Terrific. Speaking of things that cost around $350, Sony is cutting the PlayStation 4's price down to $350. So now if you are like, oh man, I can't afford an Oculus Rift, just buy a PS4 instead. And then later you can get an Oculus Rift to use with it. So this is the first price drop in North America since the launch. It's finally happened. Since November 2013, so they made about 2 years before any kind of price drop.
So it was $400 and it's dropping to $350?
Yes. Target leaked it in a promotional image. Good job, Target.
Oh, Target.
And this is coming on the heels of Xbox One dropping the price on the 500 gig or Xbox dropping the price on the Xbox One to $349 back in June when they introduced a 1 terabyte unit for $399.
Whoa!
1 terabyte, amazing. Just buy a Steam machine, get a 3 terabyte solid state drive.
Solid state. It's the future.
$5,000. So yeah, that's cool. If you're looking into picking up a PS4, that was a good. This price change took effect today, October 9th. So go get one. It's cheaper now. They're good. You can play the Battlefront beta.
That's true.
You just go get it right now.
Yeah. Go Target.
Yeah. Go Target. They leaked it. You remember a game called Horizon Zero Dawn?
That is the game with
robots.
Robot animals.
Robot animals and cave people. And bow and arrows. I thought it looked pretty cool. I thought the gameplay demo they showed at E3 was kind of neat. And like visually, it was really stunning. Apparently, this game is being developed by Guerrilla Games, but Sony has more plans than just a game. Because evidently, licensed merchandise will also be available. Players won't simply want to leave the world. The merchandise involves clothing, toys, accessories, and stationery. All set to launch in the fourth quarter of 2016.
Oh, barf.
Right? That was my reaction.
Do we have a good soundbite for this? I'm pretty sure we do.
I was kind of interested. I mean, I'm still kind of interested in this game. But after reading all of this, I'm a bit... I guess it just puts a bad taste in my mouth. Because it's so like... We're building a new generation in video gaming. For this world, we made such a good video game that nobody's ever gonna want to leave. You're not gonna want to stop playing it. You're not gonna be able to live without that t-shirt.
Listen.
Buy that stationery, you fat ass.
Horizon Hero Dawn? Wait, is that really what it's
Hero
called?
Dawn? Zero Dawn. That's a typo.
There's a typo in the article.
Way to go, Destructoid, by Chris Carter on October 7th.
Yeah, you suck.
Edit your article.
No, but Horizon Zero Dawn, listen. You're not Pokemon Go. I'm gonna want to put you down at some point. You're not that immersive. But,
well, I mean, we don't know yet. Who knows?
Maybe robot hunting will
Maybe tons of people are gonna die because they just won't be able to stop playing this game.
Whoa. No, it's not an RTS.
It's not StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Who are you kidding? Yeah. Or Dota? Mobile games. They wrote Horizon Hero Dawn twice in this article.
God damn it.
That's crazy.
Gamergate.
I still think the game looks cool. But this is just kind of gross.
Yeah, hopefully that we can, if the game does end up being good, we can enjoy the game and not pay attention to all that other stuff.
Yeah. Speaking cave people, the next Far Cry game got announced.
This was the most disappointing news of the whole week for me.
I disagree.
You're a fool. Okay, so as
take us into this one.
You might have remembered after Far Cry 3 came out, there was sort of a Far Cry 3.5, where another smaller dev team made a smaller sort of standalone game called Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Yeah, it was great.
And it was the most amazing thing I've ever played. And all I wanted was a sequel to it.
They already said they weren't going to do anymore, though.
I know, but but all my life, all I've wanted is a sequel to it.
Listen, once you play Far Cry Blood Dragon, you're not going to want to leave. So we have t-shirts, stationery, and all sorts of other goodies for you to pick up.
If only they could have done that with Blood Dragon. But yeah, so they have now Far Cry 4 has come out, and they have announced what their Far Cry 4.5 type game is going to be.
Far Cry Primal!
Far Cry Primal! And this got announced on October 6th, or October 5th? October 6th, I think. And it is a game in which you play as an early human.
Yeah,
when
Stone Age.
Yeah, when there are still saber-toothed tigers
and woolly mammoths
around, and you gotta hunt them.
Yeah.
Survive in the wilderness.
See, as long as they find enough stuff to do with this game, like if this game isn't just go hunt the mammoth and then get attacked by a saber-toothed tiger simulator 2016, like if there's more stuff going on, I think this is really cool. Maybe not as the Far Cry follow-up that people wanted. Maybe it's obviously not the next Blood Dragon, but it's different. What other caveman games do we have?
Sure, there was almost that Steam caveman game.
You mean the one with the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't count.
I mean, like caveman. There were no dinosaurs around.
In caveman times?
There's a giant sloth hat. Get him in there.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
It's really easy to outrun him.
No, they were big. They were fast.
Were they fast?
Yeah, they were pretty fast.
Oh.
It's because they're big. They were scary. But they were herbivores, so it's cool.
Okay.
Where's the moas at? Those giant, horrifying apex predator birds?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. See? See? It could be cool.
But yeah, there's a couple of things that sort of seem bizarre about this. For one thing, it's Far Cry with no guns.
But I like that.
It's not that I don't like the idea. It's that it makes me worry as to whether they'll be able to pull it off because they know how to make a game with guns because that's what Far Cry is.
I mean, they already had like bow and arrows and elephants and stuff in it.
It's true.
So there's some commonality here.
So they really need to expand on those in a major way. And they need to, and I think there was an article from PC Gamer that I pulled up which was the things that the writer of the article is going to need them to do to make this game a really good experience. And one of the first things he cites is the real hunting system. But the second thing is more realistic animal behavior. So they really need to be able to think and hunt just like you do to make it more fun.
Yes. I will also say they sort of already did some survival elements in Far Cry 2, which nobody likes.
Yeah.
And with good reason, because it's not very good. But Far Cry 2 had a lot of cool ideas in it. It was the execution that was off. Mm-hmm. And I think if they bring some of those good ideas into this, as far as the hunting and survival and, like, sneaking around this open world and kind of finding your way without an in-game map, or, like, without, like, a, map you can pull up, like having maybe just a paper map, if that.
Yeah.
Or navigating other ways. They bring some of those elements in from Far Cry 2, that could be really cool. Oh god, what's the upgrade system going to be like in this game? You know there's going to be one. Stick with rock. Stick with better rock.
Sharper rock.
Sharper rock. I think it's a neat idea. I mean, we obviously need to see it pan out.
Yeah.
But I think at the very least, it's an interesting concept that's not overdone.
No, it's certainly not overdone.
Thank goodness.
Except for Horizon Hero Dawn.
Hero Dawn.
But that has a sci-fi twist.
Yeah, it was robots.
Robots.
And stationary.
T-shirt synergy.
Tweens.
Microtransactions.
Amazing. So yeah, that's cool. Also, Metal Gear Online came out. I haven't played it yet, but I guess you can wear a squid hat and gold hot pants.
Yes!
Nice. I've heard that there's some server issues with it right now, but if you got Metal Gear Solid 5, get in there. It's free. It's like, just go on and play it. Shoot a bunch of guys, stealth around, wear fish hats. It's gonna be a good time for everybody. I, myself, do not have PlayStation Plus right now. Or I have a 2-day trial so I can do the Battlefront beta, but that's it. So I'll probably be a bit before I really crack into it, but check that out. In other microtransaction news, Metal Gear Solid 5 has added in base insurance that you can buy with real money. So you have a big base in Metal Gear Solid 5. And then you also have sub-bases called forward operating bases. And there's an online component where you can invade those.
Okay. And
steal staff and resources from other players. But then those players are like, oh, we know who you are, and they can retaliate and steal stuff back from you. And apparently, you can now pay real money to purchase Mother Base coins, which can then be used to purchase insurance on your forward operating base, so that you are automatically reimbursed for anything people steal from you. That's baffling to me. What a stupid use for microtransactions. That's so dumb. So, Metal Gear Solid 5, bad job for Konami bad for adding more microtransactions in. I think you could already buy these coins to build more forward operating bases, too.
Okay.
Than just your first one.
Yep.
But you don't really need to. So at first it's kind of like it's there, but who cares? But now they've added a new microtransaction feature in, but it's just a baffling, like, it's still like a, who would even want that? It's so dumb. Like, I can't even really be mad at them because it's so stupid. And it's just so unnecessary. So if you're gonna keep adding microtransactions to Metal Gear, Konami, just keep making them really stupid. At least.
Oh, I didn't know about this. That's a really interesting story.
Yes, October 5th on Polygon, The Legend of Zelda Symphony Orchestra is going to be appearing on Stephen Colbert's late night talk show.
He's got so much love for video games.
Seriously. He had PewDiePie and Sean Murray from Hello Games talking about No Man's Sky. And now this. This guy's getting in with the young people. Right here. Ingratiating himself to them. So, Legend of Zelda Symphony of the Goddesses is scheduled to be the musical performance on Tuesday, October 13th. The symphony will appear alongside comedian Sarah Silverman and actor Elijah Wood.
Interesting combination.
That's a really interesting combination.
I hope that both of the interviewees talk about how, like...
I hope that Elijah Wood dresses up like Mike.
Oh man, it would be perfect. But no, I hope both of the interviewees are like, man, your musical act sounds pretty sweet. I love those games.
Good, yeah. Performance will feature musical highlights from Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes, which is coming to Nintendo 3DS the following week.
Oh.
So they are doing like a little promotion for it. And that Symphony of the Goddesses is currently touring the US and Europe through 2016.
Oh, let's go!
Whoa! It might be coming to a place near you. So with this, in light of the other two, also, I wonder what other video game stuff he's going to have on his show going forward. Because he's still really recent as the new host of that show, but already having these kind of high-profile video game guests and acts. There's clearly something going on with that. We'll see where it goes, I guess.
I'm looking up their tour dates right now.
Atlas Games just announced a new Shin Megami Tensei JRPG, which is titled Shin Megami Tensei 4 Final, coming off the heels of their last 3DS game, Shin Megami Tensei 4. The name would suggest that this game is either a sequel or a remake of that game, but it is neither.
It is definitely the final version.
It is bafflingly a completely separate game that is somehow connected to the other one? Same setting, maybe? I don't know. There's, like, no news on this. It's just weird right now. The game's gonna come out on February 10th, 2016. And that's, like, all we know. There was a Famitsu magazine article that talked about a few of the characters, but there's, like, no other information. It's super bizarre. It's weird. Shovel Knight's physical release for Xbox One has been cancelled. As of October 8th. And the reason is because of publishing policies on the platform that are totally beyond Yacht Club's game's control. They could not make it happen. There's no clarification about what specifically about Microsoft's policies messed things up. And Polygon on this article said that they reached out to both the studio and Microsoft for further explanations, and will publish any updates if they get any. As of right now, though, it's just, for some reason, Microsoft's like, no physical release on Xbox. I wonder what the deal is.
Maybe Microsoft's like, you have to be a AAA title to get a physical release, and just turned their nose at them.
Or maybe Microsoft wants to own any indie game IPs that are going to be released on their console.
That's far more likely.
Yeah. And Yacht Club was like, no, we're not selling you. Shouldn't we?
Yeah. They shouldn't.
They really shouldn't.
But we're still going to get the amiibo, right? Because that's all I care about.
They're still working on the amiibo.
Thank goodness.
And the other physical versions are apparently still going to be coming out. And they have actually raised the price of the physical version to $24.99 from $19.99. If you have already pre-ordered the game, physical version, you will still only pay $19.99.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the reason given came down... Yacht Club decided to raise the price. Okay. And a lot of people were, like, mad about it. But apparently the reason is that many retailers who they spoke to said that if the game only costs $19.99, it will be put in the bargain area right off the bat. Even if it's a brand new game. It's going to be in, like, the bargain bin equivalent part of the store. So Yacht Club basically decided to raise the price so that it would actually be with other games in the store, because I guess maybe they figured they would not sell it. It would not sell as well in the bargain.
Oh, it definitely won't.
Wouldn't. So yeah. I understand why they raised the price. It's unfortunate, but I guess it just comes down to the way retailers are stocking shelves with video games nowadays, because they have limited space.
Yeah, GameStop, you suck.
Yeah, get out of here. Go away. Like, actually go away.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
please,
mind at all.
Please go away.
So yeah, that's our Shovel Knight news. Not super fortunate Shovel Knight news, but oh well. And this just in, every video game has been delayed in the UK.
All of them.
So, the enactment of the Consumer Rights Act 2015 in the UK has guaranteed a refund for any digital video game purchase if it is found to be faulty, not as described, or not a quality project. Basically, the problem here is that this means that UK can refuse to sell games if they are not finished. So it's
so like every AAA title.
Yeah. Basically, they can't just fix it with day one patches anymore. Like, they need to ship real games. Like, fully made games.
Finally, one country is like, here, let's have some consumer protection.
Yeah.
The US isn't going to do it.
So, that's interesting.
I'm really excited to see how that plays out.
It's probably not going to be as good as you think.
No, it probably won't. But I really want, like, another...
something to happen.
Another, like, Mr. Chef collection moment.
Yeah.
Where the game comes out, or the game is supposed to come out, and they were like, oh, well, we need to do a 20 gig day one patch, and the UK's like, no, can't release it.
This is weird. Let's talk about the most anticipated games of the holidays.
Ooh. So Nielsen,
look at them with their ratings.
Yeah, they do all sorts of different ratings and number crunching charts and things like that. They did a big old survey for the most anticipated games of Holiday 2015. They released the results on October 5th, and they're not that surprising, but they're kind of interesting. I think the one I was blown away by was the top of the list for multi-platform things, which is Call of Duty Black Ops 2 with a 98% rating, or Black Ops 3, rather. I was just like, wait, people care about that? Because I didn't think anybody did.
No one will stop. They won't stop. They just won't stop.
The Call of Duty never stops. But other multi-platform anticipated releases.
Fallout 4
with 95% makes sense. Assassin's Creed Syndicate with 95% makes sense. Need for Speed with 92. I thought that would be much lower as well.
There's a ton of people who just want cars.
Yeah. Battlefront with only 88.
Yep.
Rise of the Tomb Raider with 80.
And Rock Band 4
with 76.
Which is out, I think.
Oh, did it come out?
It either came out or it comes out this coming week.
Oh, well.
It
turns out people aren't super over the moon about Rock Band, obviously.
Exclusive titles. Halo 5 Guardians on Xbox One, 100%.
People are amped for that. I don't know why, but they are.
Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection, 79%.
Okay.
PC, StarCraft at 91%. And Anno 2205 at 75%. That surprises me.
I still don't care about Anno. They tried to push it on me at E3. They're trying to tell me people care about it now. I don't care about it. I just don't care. It's going to come out and I'm not going to cover it. Because I do not care.
Some harsh criticism.
I'm sure it's a perfectly nice game. I just really don't care.
Shockingly, the Vita is even here.
I know, right? But Dan, Vita means life.
That's why we're getting Corpse Party Blood Drive on it. And then Code Realize Guardian of Rebirth.
And both of those were in the 70s, so people aren't that excited about them.
Wii U, you have the only games coming out on the Wii U.
Yoshi's Woolly World, Animal Crossing, Mario Tennis, and Devil's Third.
That piece of garbage.
Forgot about that.
And 3DS, you get Dragon Ball Z Extreme Butoden.
All right.
Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes. And Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon.
Super Mystery Dungeon.
Not just regular Mystery Dungeon anymore.
Wow.
Amazing.
So the way they did the methodology for this, which they state at the end of this little article thing, these were based on a combination of several key measures, including awareness, purchase interest, consumer rating, and others. I really would have liked them to tell me what the others were, but okay. So the percent value shown reflects how strong the overall anticipation level is for the title, relative to the pre-release anticipation levels for all previous titles that released on the platform. Basically the titles shown, data was collected from surveying more than 4,800 gamers between the ages of 7 and 54. I'm surprised they went as high up as 54.
Yeah, jeez.
Between the dates of August 24th and September 19th. So it was a pretty small period of time, but it was a pretty good sample size and a pretty good range.
I can't imagine that this would change that much if they had kept it going longer or anything.
No, I don't think so either.
Everything's kind of locked in at this point, as far as how much people are actually interested in it.
And for a game to make this little chart, it had to be over 70% rating.
Gotcha. Well, I, for one, can't wait to play Code Realized Guardian of Rebirth on my Vita.
Do you have a Vita?
I do.
Oh, I forgot.
I actually really like it.
Oh, that's
It's a shame there's not more games on it, because it's a really good handheld. It's a very, very sad situation of fantastic hardware with no good software support. I mean, there's some, but it's not enough.
Yeah.
But it's neat.
So let's
what games are coming out?
finish out the show with upcoming game releases.
Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection just came out
Today. Rock Band 4 came out on the 6th.
Yes.
That was
I wonder if it's good.
Transformers
Devastation came out on the 6th as well.
Yeah.
And it looks radical. I hear it's a bit short, though, so I think I'm going to wait until a price drop before I pick it up.
Coming out on the 13th, we have games such as The Legend of Legacy.
Isn't that the best? That game actually does look really cool.
Oh,
even
cool.
if the title is, not good.
Talos Principle. Let's see, as we stated earlier, Corpse Party Blood Drive.
Yeah!
For the Vita, for the Life.
What the heck is Wasteland 2 Director's Cut?
Who knows? Also Dragon Quest Heroes for the PS4.
Isn't that just like a Musou game, like Dynasty Warriors?
I thought it was a Dragon Quest game, but I could be wrong.
It is a Dragon Quest game like Dynasty Warriors.
Oh, okay.
Which means I have no interest in it at all.
Oh, but you know what comes out also on the 13th?
Minecraft Story Mode Episode 1.
Patton Oswalt.
And an ensemble cast.
Wow.
The Talos Principle Deluxe Edition. It's a puzzle game.
On the 15th, Broforce actually comes out.
Oh, wow.
Which is something that
That's happening.
Yeah, I forgot that it, hadn't come out already, because I've sunk, almost 100 hours into it, just playing the early access thing for, the past year.
I wonder how much different it'll be once you,
yeah, I'm curious.
Get the full version.
Yeah, I'm excited to fire that up. But one of the things
I forgot this game was coming out at all.
I think they didn't set the release date until, very recently.
Yeah.
But one of the things they did to promote it is they did a power ballad.
Oh, amazing.
Just a performance of a power ballad.
Yoshi's Woolly World, exactly 1 week from now, as well.
Oh. Very nice.
And how could you forget on the 14th, The Age of Decadence?
For the Microsoft Windows?
Yes.
Yep.
What is this? A pseudo-isometric 3D turn-based role-playing video game set in a low-magic post-apocalyptic world inspired by the fall of the Roman Empire.
You know what? I really want to play this
That
now.
actually sounds way more interesting than I expected it to be.
Yeah, that title sucks.
Yeah. The Age of Decadence aims to return to the golden era of role-playing games by emphasizing choices and consequences and providing a comprehensive skill set, multiple solutions to quests, and extensive dialogue trees.
So this game exists because of Pillars of Eternity, Baldur's Gate remake,
absolutely,
and Divinity.
Yeah, it's totally in that spirit.
So
and the new Torment game, too.
I forgot about the new
Torment Tides of Numenera or whatever.
Wait, did that already come out, or is that yet to come out?
It's yet to come out. I don't know when it's going to
Well,
come
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. Age of Decadence is turn-based tactical options that focus heavily... Or, I'm sorry, turn-based combat focuses heavily on tactical options.
Fantastic. It's just what I want to hear. In other news, nobody said anything about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 this week. Until just now.
Will they fix it? Probably not. They don't care.
Maybe they already did, but who cares?
But who cares?
So, with that, we are out of stuff to talk about this week. We've been Don't Copy That Floppy, weekly video game news podcast on ChipBit Radio, chipbit.net. Where can people find us in addition to chipbit.net?
They can find us on Facebook, the main place, but also on Twitter, on YouTube, on Steam, and on iTunes. And we have a show archive, which is up on iTunes, but it's also on the ChipBit website. And yeah, definitely follow us on social media. We post a lot of the articles that we're going to talk about on Friday during the week to our Facebook.
Yeah. There wasn't much this week.
No, there wasn't.
There's like one thing. Bless you.
Oh. Oof. So until next time, remember...
Don't copy.
Hold on.
You didn't start me.
There was another thing.
You're reading about Age of Decadence again.
It looks really good. I need to see screenshots. But anyway, so until next time, remember,
don't copy that floppy. That was much better. That floppy. That was much better.